Hello everyone and welcome to the final part of the JAMB Mathematics Past Question for 2022. So if you have not watched the previous three parts, I will encourage you to do so because we've walked through 30 questions related to the mathematics aspect of JAMB for 2022, and now we're going to be looking at the last 10 questions. Also, I will encourage you to subscribe to the channel because we've uploaded tutorial videos that cover the entire syllabus for JAMB Mathematics. So if there is a particular area that you're struggling with, you're sure to find a video that will help you be able to address questions related to that topic. So now we're going to get right into it, and yeah, let's have fun. So for the first question, we're told that in the diagram shown that xy is 8, ox is 5 centimeter, find oz. Now this might be a bit confusing because of the way the diagram is being shown here, but oz in this particular case just refers to x, so just put that at the back of your mind. So the first thing we want to do is that we know that this line over here, oz, we can see that it's a right angle, so we know that it's a straight line, and since it's a straight line, we know that it's going to divide this chord xy equally. So what can we say? We know that the value from x to this particular point is going to be 4 centimeter, and the value from here to here is also going to be 4 centimeter. So I can bring out this triangle, right angle triangle over here, to figure out what x is, which would be oz invariably. So when I bring out that right angle triangle over here, I'm told that the hypotenuse is 5 centimeter, and I've figured out that here is what, 4 centimeter. So I'm trying to find what the value of x is. Now remember from our Pythagoras theorem, the sum of the square of the other side is equal to the square of the hypotenuse. So I can write that what, x squared plus 4 squared must be equal to what, 5 squared. So we know that x squared will be equal to what, 5 squared minus 4 squared, and 5 squared is what, 25, 4 squared is what, 16. So x squared is equal to 25 minus 16, which is 9, and x will just be the square root of 9, which is what, 3 centimeters. So the value of oz, which is x, will be 3 centimeters, and the correct option here is option D. So let's move on to the next question. And we're told that let star be a binary operation on a natural number defined by this, find 3 star 5. Now binary operation is a very interesting topic, and I will encourage you to go through our catalog to find tutorial videos on binary operation to understand what it really means. But essentially it's just like giving us a function or an operator and telling us how that operator is going to play out. In this case, we're told that if you find two numbers given by this operator, this is the way in which we should estimate that numbers. So in this case, 3 star 5 will just be evaluated by making use of this operator that we have been given. So the operator says that when we have two numbers, a star b, we're going to take the first number, a, in this case, which is going to be 3. Then we're going to minus the second number, which is b. In this case, that's going to be 5. Then we're going to multiply both numbers together and square them. So we have what, 3 times 5 squared, and it's as simple as that. So that is just going to be what, 3 minus 5 plus 3 times 5 is what, 15 squared, and that is just going to be 3 minus 5 plus 15 squared. And what is 15 squared? 15 squared is 225. So 3 minus 5 will be minus 2. Minus 2 plus 2 to 5 will just be giving what, 2, 2, 3. So the correct option to this is option A. Now on to the next question. We are told that if y varies inversely as x and x is equal to 3 when y is 4, find the value of x when y is equal to 12. Now again, this has to do with our direct variation and inverse variation, but here we are given an inverse relationship. So we know that y is inversely proportional to 1 over x. So to get rid of the proportionality sign, we introduce a constant of proportionality. So you can write this as y is equals to what? the constant k in this case over x, since we have an inverse relationship. So we can find k by multiplying what? X and y if we cross multiply. So in this case, we are told that when x is 3, y is 4. So that can help us to find what the constant will be. So x is 3 and y is 4. So we know that our constant is what? 3 times 4. And what is 3 times 4? 3 times 4 is 12. So we can substitute that into our equation back. So we know that y will be equals to what? 12 over x. So now the question says we should find the value of x when y is 12. So what is x when y is equals to 12? So if we substitute the value of y as 12 in this equation, we have 12 is equals to what? 12 over x. And when we cross multiply, this can be over 1. When we cross multiply, we have 12x is equals to x equals to 12. And when we divide both sides by 12, we have what? 12 divided by 12. So that means that what? X is equals to 1. And the correct option in this case is option B. So for more understanding, I will encourage you to watch our tutorial videos on variation, both inverse and direct variation. So let's move on to the next question. It says that 8, PQ, and 26 is an arithmetic progression. Find the values of P and Q. Now, an arithmetic progression is defined by the first term A and the common difference D. Common difference is just the difference between each consecutive term in the series. Now, we know that the first term, we have it A is what? We know that the first term in this case is 8. Now, we know that 26 is the fourth term because this is the first term, the second term, third term, fourth term. So 26, which is the fourth term, we can write that as A plus 3D is equals to 26. So this enables us to be able to find what the common difference is by substituting the value of A as 8 in this equation here. So we can write that 8 plus 3D is equals to 26. So 3D will be 26 minus 8. So 3D will be equals to what? What's 26 minus 8? 26 minus 8 will be 18. And when you divide both sides by 3, you get my common difference. D will be 18 divided by 3, which is equals to 6. So now we know that our first term is 8 and our common difference is 6. So now the question says we should find the value of P and Q. Now we know that the first term is 8, P is the second term. So P will be equals to what? A plus my common difference, and Q is my third term, which will be what? A plus 2 times my common difference. Now for my P, my A is what? A is 8 plus my common difference is 6, and 8 plus 6 is 14. And Q will be my first term, 8 plus 2 times my common difference, which is 6, which will be what? 8 plus 12, and that is 20. So the value of P is 14 and the value of Q is 20, and that makes D the correct option. So if you want more understanding, I encourage you also to watch our video on arithmetic progression as it goes in depth into what the first term means, the common difference means, and we also solve through loads of questions that are related to APs that will be really useful in your preparations. So let's move on to the next question. It says find x if the mean of 2x, 4x, 2x minus 13 and 6x is 4. Now we know that the mean is equals to what? The sum of the numbers, sum divided by the total number that are there. So we need to find out what the sum of these numbers are. So that will be 2x plus 4x plus 2x minus 13, then plus 6x. Then we have to divide it by the total numbers that we have over there. And how many numbers are we given? We are given 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 4. And we are told that the mean is what? Is 4. So we are given the result. So what can we do over here now? What we can do now is cross multiply. So we have 2x plus 4x plus 2x minus 13 plus 6x will be equals to 4 times 4 when you cross multiply. And what is 4 times 4? 4 times 4 is 16. Now we can collect like times. 2x plus 4x plus 2x is going to be 8x. 8x plus 6x is going to be 14x minus 13 is equals to 16. So what do we have here? We have 14x is equals to 16 plus 13. And we have what? 14x is equals to 29. And when we divide both sides by 14, our x is going to be approximately equals to 2. Precisely, we have 29 divided by 14, which is 2.07. But the closest option that we have to that is going to be option B in this case. So the correct answer to question 35 is what? Is B. Moving on to the next question, we are told to factorize these two expressions. Now this is a classic case of the difference of two squares. Now if you remember, our difference of two squares method says that if you have x squared minus y squared, we can write it as what? X minus y times what? X plus y. So we're going to apply that same concept into this, but first we need to rewrite this properly. So we have 4a squared minus 9b squared. Now we can write 4 as 2 squared. So we have 2 squared a squared, and we can write 9 as what? 3 squared b squared. So we can combine these together as what? 2a squared minus 3b squared. So now we can now apply our difference of two squares method. So this tells us that if you have two numbers, this is how we're going to factorize them. So this becomes what? Our first number is what? 2a minus our second number is what? 3b. Then we multiply by that by what? 2a plus 3b. So what options does this reflect? And this is reflected by option A, which is the correct answer over here. Moving on to question 37, we are told that if n of p is equals to 20 and n of q is equals to 30 and n of p union q is equals to 40, find the value of n of p intersect q. Now this is simply just an expression of the inclusion principle, and the inclusion principle says that when you have that p union q is equals to set of p plus set of q minus set of p intersect q. Now I can go into the detailed explanation of how these sets work, but I will not do that here because I would like you to go to our videos on that set to really understand a more detailed explanation on how sets work. Doing that now is going to make this video unnecessarily long. So we can just substitute that to find the value of n intersect q. So p union q, we have been told, is what? 40 is equals to, now the set of p is what? 20. The set of q is what? 30 minus, this is what we're finding, set of p intersect q. Now we can bring this to the other side. So we have n set of p intersect q will be equals to, we know that 20 plus 30 is what? 50. Then we can bring this 40 to the other side. We have minus 40, and that is equals to what? That is equals to 10. So the correct option to this is what? Is A. So let's move on to the next part. Question 38. We are told that 3 times a certain number x minus 2 is less than the number minus 6. Find the possible values of x. So let's just try to convert these words to mathematical expressions. So we are told that 3 times a particular number x. So we have 3 times x minus 2 is less than the number, is less than x minus 6. So we just need to solve out this inequality. So if we bring this collect like time, bring this x over here and this minus 2 over here, we have what? 3x minus x is less than minus 6 plus 2. When we bring this minus 2 over to the other side, so 3x minus x will be 2x is less than, and minus 6 plus 2 is what? Is minus 4. Now if we divide both sides by 2, we have what? X is less than what? Minus 2. And that makes the correct option option A. Now to the next question. It says the number line is represented by inequality. So we are given this number line and we are told that what inequality represents it. Now this is pretty straightforward. We see that the direction of the arrow is pointing greater than 2. So we know that it is greater than 2. So it's either x is greater than 2. We know that x is greater than 2 because it's pointing in the direction of x being greater than 2. But the question is it greater than or equals to 2, or is it just greater than 2? Now from number line, you know that when this circle over here is not shaded, it just represents the number greater than sign or the number equality sign. So in this case, the correct option is option D. Now, just for the sake of learning, assuming we had like a number line over here and we had this circle being shaded, then this is going to represent x greater than or equals to 2. But because it is not shaded, it just represents greater than 2, which makes D the correct option. But for more understanding on number line, I will encourage you to watch tutorial videos on inequalities to really get a better grasp of how it works. Now, and to the final question on our JAMB Mathematics Past Question. I know it's been really tiring because we've had to address so many questions. Well, I guess you're as excited as I am to solve the final question. So it says if a dress is sold for 3,800 at a 20% discount, what is its original price? So what this means is that you go to a store, you see an item that is on sale at a 20% discount, and that means you have to pay 3,800. They're asking that what is the original price. So now, let's say the original price of the item is X. So let the original price be X, original price. Let's call that X. But what you did was that you got a 20% discount on this original price. So that means instead of paying X amount, what you paid was, instead of paying 100% of X, you paid what? 100 minus 20% of X, because you got a 20% discount. And that meant at the end of the day, you had to just pay 3,800. So when you multiply, so 100 minus 20 is going to give me 80%. So 80% of the original amount was what resulted in 3,800. So you can convert this to fraction. So 80% is same thing as saying 0.8x is equals to 3,800 when you convert that to fraction. And if you divide both sides by 0.8, so this cancels out this, and you have x. So 3,800 divided by 0.8 is 4750, and that makes option D the correct option. So this brings us to the end of our discussion on JAMB Mathematics Past Question for 2022. So if you have any other question, I will encourage you to drop a comment and I'll quickly respond to them as soon as I can. And I will also encourage you to subscribe so that you can get access to whatever new videos that I'll put up. And also we've uploaded all the tutorial videos that's to do with JAMB Mathematics. So if there's any topic they are struggling with, you can find a video to address that. So until next time, and take care of yourself, and thank you for watching this so far. Thank you and bye for now.